Well, hello everybody, and welcome to an episode of Dukedogging. Dogging the Duke. I don't know. Anyway, pun's not really intended. So, yeah, where to start? Welcome to Dukedog, where we shall be driving Digital Traction's latest release, the Dukedog. Built by the Great Western Railway in the 1930s out of old parts. I believe it was a Bulldog chassis and a Duke boiler, or something along those lines, which gives it the impression of being something from the 18th century, yet it was firmly built in the 30s. A beautiful machine. One of them still survives on the Bluebell Railway in Essex. I think it's Essex. I thought I'd do something a little bit different for this video, because every video I do the same weather on the Dukedog line. I thought perhaps it's time we did something in the winter, in the cold and the snow. So yeah, let's. So this engine is actually quite a challenging one to drive, in that you really sort of gotta be thinking ahead in terms of how much coal you're burning. Because if you're not making steam, if you start hitting a gradient, especially with a a good load on like what I've got here, 4 Clerestory coaches and a brake van, which is the standard Penwyth Valley Railway brake, then you could end up in trouble. So we'll get the blower on, we'll open the dampers, we shall return the brake to the running position so that we're not using excess steam. I'm shoveling like hell. Looks like the baffle plate doesn't actually work on this model, which is a shame, but hey, it's probably better that it doesn't. What else do we need to do? We got the lamp on. If I press H, no, I pressed H too much. Then we have a lamp on the top, which indicates it is a stopping passenger train. Well, we're blowing off now, so I think it's time just to get going. So, tip from the guard, which doesn't work, sadly. And we shall get going, and I will be talking a load of rubbish throughout the whole video. Hopefully we'll do a return trip, because I do actually have time to make a whole return trip now from Dukedog to Blind Berris and back. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride on the Penwyth Valley Railway with 9015, the Dukedog. I didn't plug in my controller, I just realised that. Although the game seems to be really difficult to run at the moment for some reason. I'm having a bit of trouble. Every time I want to do something, it seems to just dump out on me. I don't know why it's doing that again, but something has changed in the game and it's causing it to dump out a lot. So I'm hoping that the audio levels of this video are improved, because I've turned the gain volume right up so that you guys can actually hear the engine. I've turned my microphone up so you can actually hear me, but then I've turned my volume down so I'm not like deafened by the noise of the engine while I'm recording. Because there's nothing worse than trying to talk to you guys and not being able to hear anything. So let's notch her up. Still shoveling. I've got about 800 pounds of coal in the fire mass. I think we can turn off the blower now. Oh, it does make hell of a difference, that blower. I think we'll leave it on just for a little bit longer because my steam... okay. It's because the safety valve was open. So now we'll stop shoveling. Oh yeah, that's another little thing about this loco. If you listen to that, that banging noise is the noise that the fire doors make because of the drafting. It's sucking air through the little gap, and then out that goes out the chimney. So it basically makes the fire doors just bang, 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 bang. The only thing is, like, it works really well at low speed, but then when it gets a little bit faster, then it's sort of the sounds just go a bit weird. It might get fixed, it might not, but you know, especially at low speeds, that is a really cool effect. Alright, so we got the reg open nicely. We're blowing off, so I can give a bit more steam. Second valve. So you can see the steam generation rate is coming up nice. I'll be able to let off a little bit. It's quite a steep climb up out of Dukedog. So, the thing to remember about this loco is it's a tender engine, but it is still only a 440, so it's not going to be that powerful or grippy. And it is winter, so there is snow around. That doesn't, you know, I've never really done much in the snow on this route. Only very brief scenes for, like, episode 1. But that does just look amazing. Those of you who are followers of the Facebook group are probably either really, really happy or really, really angry with me. And I shall explain in this video why that may be. Basically, over the last few years, people who've made series, they've come up with this theory that if you have a Black 5 in your series, then it's just so cliche. Or if you have a 7F in your series, apparently it's cliche. I don't know who came up with this idea, but it's there. And it's a bit stupid if you ask me. But apparently it's cliche to have a Black 5, so in keeping with that, but also because I just wanted to do it, I've decided that in Series 2 of Over the Hills, Stephanie, which is the loco that Mr. Hancock of the series, but he's not going to be called Mr. Hancock for much longer, but, you know, the character was planning to buy a loco. Well, he did buy a loco, actually, and he was planning to bring it to the railway after the inspection. Oh, we're going to get noise. Echo. I don't know if you guys are getting, like, ear raped at the moment, but I'm not. My game volume is turned down quite low, so I'll carry on talking after we leave the tunnel. How are we doing for fire? We seem to be doing okay. I'll shut the dampers now, just before we get to the station to try and save some of the fire. Yeah, closed. We're down to about 20 miles an hour. That's actually not bad considering how steep the gradient can get there. And then just as we're on the final little bit out of the tunnel, we have to shut off because it's the gradient starts going downhill very briefly. It looks totally different in the winter, doesn't it? I hope that if I take a screenshot, it's not just gonna derp out on me. Excuse me. Alrighty. Now this is where the fun games start, because I have to try and stop in the right place. And the braking thing on this is a little bit strange. Just dump, 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 stop, stop, stop. Is it going to be a perfect stop? Yeah, boy. It is a perfect stop. And I'm going to use the opportunity to shovel some coal and put some water in. Yes, I am using the Fisher-Price toolbar for that, but it's just easier than me messing about with all the valves and levers and stuff. But doesn't that just look good? Screenshot. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Blowing off. Whoops. This is the weathered, the BR weathered Dukedog. And doesn't it just look awesome? This is the sort of condition that it would have been. Actually, I think this is a little bit clean for a weathered loco. Although, I don't know. The textures are really, really nice. So, it does look like it's been used heavily. I probably should have opened the doors so people could get in and out. Shovel some more coal. Well, we're blowing off, almost. Are we? Yeah, we're still blowing off. I'm hoping you guys can actually hear me. Time to release the brake. We'll open up the dampers. We'll open the cylinder drain. We will stop shoveling because we got a good fire now. Put the brake back to there. Two-tone whistle, Great Western style, and off we go. Now, being a 440, it has two really strong power strokes. I believe that's the definition. But then you've got to be really careful on each power stroke, because if you give a little bit too much steam, she'll just go woof, 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 woof. So, I'm only using 5% reg just to get it going. And my wife is phoning me at the possible worst moment ever. Give me just a moment. Hello everybody, I'm back. For you guys that was just a second or two, for me that was about half an hour on the phone to my wife. Yeah, so sorry about that. I completely lost my train of thought. Get it? Train? No? Okay. So, let's power out of thingy. Dukedogging. Oh, that is amazing. Amazing! Yes, mate! Yeah, sorry. Oh, that's... It just gives me sort of... These sort of screenies just give me, like, vibes of the Severn Valley Railway. If that makes sense. Please don't crash. More power. Okay, concentrate, please. Oh crap. Yeah, I've completely ruined... I've overfilled the boiler. So, we're you know, we got 1.21 in the boiler, we're probably, completely ruined it. So, I'm gonna try and stick to 25-mile-an-hour speed limit, I think, maybe. We'll see. You all know what I'm like. Lower on. So we got a steady climb now from Penwyth up to Penwyth? No, Penwyth. I don't remember the name of my stations. Okay, we're good. So, let's have a talk then about over the hillsy things. So, Stephanie is now a Dukedog. So the idea of the story is, since I've got to start the series again, because I'm changing the voice actors around, I've been thinking over the last few weeks on how I'm going to execute this, because it's not going to be as easy as just going, okay, new voice actors and boom, shakala. I want to do it with some form of sensibleness. You're probably deafened again by the noise. Oh, do you know what? I'm gonna just go up to 40 mile an hour, screw it. We seem to be making steam nicely, so I'm just going to follow the 40 mile an hour speed limit. I think Dukedogging can manage it. I need to figure out which Dukedog I'm going to use. So yeah, going back to over the hill. So we need to start again with the series. It means recasting it, so for those of you who want to try your hand at voice acting for Over the Hills, head on to the Facebook group. Find one of the linked groups you'll find that there's a group called Over the Hill. See? No. I'm stupid. I should have taken like 20 caffeine tablets today. I didn't. So I'm a little bit tired. Which can probably tell. Angry Welshman Productions. I'm just trying to find one of the linked groups. Recommended groups. Over the Hills voice acting. Yep, it's a recommended group. So feel free to go and add yourself to the group, and I will approve your request. In the next coming weeks, there will be auditions for each character and each role. I do need to rewrite the series a little bit, just to make minor changes. Oh, we're doing 42 miles an hour. We're actually doing really well. I've really underestimated the steaming capability of this loco, which I normally do with almost every loco. Run over the volunteers, normal. I think that's basically become a standard procedure now, hasn't it? You'll probably be asking as well in the comments, why isn't there a webcam? That's for two reasons. One, I haven't got a shirt on, and two, well, I'm not going to go and show you my boobs, that's just a bit weird. And two, yes, I do have boobs. Man boobs. Oh, great, tunnel coming up. I need to slow down here, don't I? $20 miles an hour speed limit here, which we are not really gonna make. Yeah, close enough. Kill more volunteers. Sorry, lads. Yeah, I've increased the speed limit to 20 here because, you know, isms. Two-tone whistle is recycled from the 4200 pack, I believe it is, from Victory Works. But you know what? I think it is anyway. I'm not 100%, don't quote me on that, but it is a good one. Power back up to 40. Mr. Edmondson in the cab firing. Ah, James Horrocks is now playing Hogs of War. Hi, James! He probably can't hear me. Alright, where were we? So, I've got to rewrite the series, but it's not like a major rewrite. It's more just sort of changing the name of characters and making minor changes to the series. Some of you, in particular Mr. Lol, when episode 1 first aired, you were very, very quick to say, "Oh, Jai wasn't scrapped because he's still here, so he couldn't have been scrapped." Yeah, okay, fine, whatever, grammatical error. Whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to change little bits like that. So he wasn't scrapped, he was sent for scrap. If you want to be that pedantic. What else is going to change? Names of the characters, so I'm no longer going to have the human characters based on the voice actor that was voicing them. That was more like, at the time, a little tribute for the people who I was friends with and, you know, always doing Skype calls. Basically, you know, I really enjoyed doing it, but as it's turned out, lost contact with various people for whatever reason, and yeah. You know, it's not really fitting now to have people named after those people, or characters named after those people who I'm no longer friends with. So by doing this now, it sort of sets up the series for the future. The other thing, which I've already mentioned, is that Stephanie in Series 2 will now be a Dukedog, not a Black 5, so I'll have to change that. In episode 2, I believe that they're in the series doing an explanation about the loco that is coming, and that's, well, I might not even mention it because the whole idea behind Stephanie now is that the Dukedog is withdrawn from Machynlleth Shed on the Cambrian coastline, and then I don't know if any of you've seen, I believe it was a show called Railway Roundabouts, where they had an Operation Dukedog, which is how the Dukedog that is now on the Bluebell Railway came to arrive at the Bluebell. And it's a really cool little video of, you know, the engine is withdrawn in pretty much a condition just like this. You know, the weathered BR, you know, not run-down condition, not being looked after. I need to start braking here, don't I? Shut the dampers! So that, you know, the engine is in a pretty bad condition. Not being looked after, weathered. What else was I going to say? And withdrawn. I keep losing my train of thought, and pun is definitely not intended. I am sorry. So, withdrawn, and then Mr. Edmondson or somebody. I don't know. It's not gonna. He won't be called Mr. Edmondson. He'll be called something else. But they'll drive all the way up to Penwyth to collect the loco, and I think there'll be an episode where they bring in Stephanie back, you know, to the Penwyth Valley Railway. Kind of like a, you know, it's not really copying, but just sort of like a tribute to the Bluebell and how it got the Dukedog there. Sort of, yeah. That's something I've always wanted to do, is a little bit about Operation Dukedog, because it's just such. It was fascinating that in the 60s, when the early preservationists, you know, were coming around, that they were just able to buy a loco pretty much straight from BR ownership, and that was the intention with oh crap, I'm gonna overshoot the original Stephanie. Yeah, I've completely messed that up. All that talking I'm doing. Well, it's not a main station. I went, you know, oh well, sorry people. So the idea is that the preservationists go and buy a Dukedog. Di is going to be sent away for overhaul. I've been chatting with Sam Steventon of Blastpipe Productions, and if you guys are interested, go and find his website. I've got a link, I believe, in the description. I'll put it in the description anyway. Go to his website and download various reskins that he's done, especially the Duchess, which was in my last video. Sam very kindly did a unique reskin for me. Yeah, I assume that I had the right of way from the guard there. I hope. Yeah, go and download the Duchess. So there's a Duchess reskin complete with the what's it called? Matrix Trains LMS Period 1 or Period 3 coaches. It's a really good pack. I cannot recommend it enough, even as a Western Region man. Look at that cab. I keep getting distracted by things. I'm sorry. I am the worst at making these videos. It's like, here's an update. Ooh, butterflies. And just forget about what I'm talking about. Oh, shot. Something that I really enjoy with Train Sim is just taking screenshots like this. So I could be just driving along, not doing anything in particular, and just snapping away various screenshots. It's like where I should have connected my Xbox controller, because you could get really arty-farty shots, you know, and it just looks so nice. Shut the reg, because there's a speed restriction here. Even though I don't follow speed restrictions. Speed restrictions are for pussies and non-believers. Let's open the dampers, because we got an absolutely massive fire. We better let that die down a little bit, I guess. Yeah, I'm certainly not going to run out of steam on this run. I've been blowing off ever since I left Dukedog. Whoopsies. Everybody's going to be shouting abuse at me about how much coal I use. Do I get the camera in exactly the right place? Oh yeah. Boom. Boom shakalaka. might do like a couple of scenery updates on this route as well, just add some extra things. But to be honest, it doesn't really need a whole lot. All the scenery that I've done is not really scenery as such, it's more like modifications just for the convenience of the series. Power. Oh yes. This is why people pay to come to the Penwyth Valley Railway. Because of this exact moment when you get across that bridge, the road bridge, and you just second valve it. Oh yes. Second valve all the way. Because it's sort of like a steep climb up from here. With our 4 coaches and brake van. Yeah, so Stephanie is going to arrive. I'm going to sort of change possibly the time of the series, because at the moment the series is, what is it, 1964, summer of 1965. That's basically when it, you know, is set. But I'm sort of thinking, how about change it so that the line closes in 1965, which would explain the presence of British Railways green Class 37s and Class 20s, that sort of stuff. Class 37s, I think, were quite a regular performer in South Wales area, and the DMUs as well. So the line basically closed to passengers in the early 60s, or maybe even the late 50s in the beaching cuts, and then closed to goods, and then closed to mineral traffic. I was sort of thinking about changing it so that it would actually be set in the 80s, or maybe 70s or 80s. That would mean that Di spent quite some considerable time in the scrapyard, which I think is a bit more realistic for most heritage railways, you know, because they came to be in the 70s or 80s. But then I thought, well, I might sort of look at the history of the North Yorkshire Moors Railway, because that's, I think, the closest I can sort of resemble this line in real life, either the Severn Valley or the North Yorkshire Moors, and sort of look at the time frames and what locos they used. So the idea is that Di comes to the line. Di is going to stay a 7F, so don't panic about that. I'm not going to change that too much. But whether he comes straight from Barry Scrapyard or whether he comes out of storage, you know, I might change it so instead of coming from Barry Scrapyard, he comes out of storage somewhere, or like a scrap line rather than a scrapyard. Oh, excuse me. But then he'll run, as you've seen throughout Series 1, running the passenger service with various problems. There will, of course, be the resurgence of Ian, who will be vacuum fitted, and will then run on the passenger service in vacuum fitted form. Mr. Sam has been very kind in assisting or making a tutorial so that I can actually add faces to logos myself. Since we're blowing off like hell, let's just add some water to the boiler. Once I can add faces to logos myself, then I'll be able to, you know, become independent of needing someone to do that for me, and I can continue over the hills as I want. End of this first series, we'll see Di being sent away for overhaul, or like a proper overhaul. I'm kind of thinking he might be sent to Hunslet, the Hunslet Engine Works, possibly. It depends on how I write the series, but I might write it in such a way that, you know, the big overhauls at the works are not really done anymore. Because I think Flying Scotsman was overhauled at Crewe, and it was one of the last steam locos to be overhauled there. And then, of course, was it Britannia was the last engine overhauled at Swindon, if I've got that right, in 1965 or something. I'll have to look at my historical facts. Because I'm not very good at that, as you know. I sort of get my historical facts by just kind of flicking through Wikipedia and going, oh, that sounds good. Or just local knowledge that I have. but we shall see. Oh look, cows. We're almost full again. Yeah. Let's just quickly zoom ahead and play Signalman for a moment. Oh, look at that. It's not correct. For some strange reason. Why it does that, I don't know. Because the last few times I've played this game and I've gone to Abersaif, it's routed me the correct platform. But today, for some reason, it didn't want to do that. Look at the view. The beautiful Penwyth Valley. Although if it is South Wales, there's not many collieries. Although the location in South Wales where this is based is, there weren't many collieries, to be frankly honest. They were sort of mostly like mid-South Wales or South-East Wales, whereas this part is more towards the English border, I think. But who knows, you know, historical facts don't really mean anything at Angry Welshman Productions. I've got to slow down to a certain thing. Probably could have slowed down much later, actually. Yeah, so Stephanie will arrive, so like Di will be sent away. There might be like a brief handover period where Di and Stephanie meet. Although I wasn't really planning on Di and Stephanie to meet between the series. I was sort of going to say, like, the inspection is complete, the railway's secure, and then off you go. Bye-bye to the Severn Valley or to the Huntlet. I haven't fully decided where it's going to go. I think Sam Stevenson is quite helpful in providing that knowledge. He knows numerous people, I believe, on the East Lancashire Railway who were around in the early days of the Heritage operation, and they could sort of shed light on what the attitude was like back then. Yeah. And then Stephanie will arrive. Di is gone. I keep repeating myself. This is a really useless video. I'm sorry, guys. What else is going to happen? Oh, there's nobody here. It's really strange with Train Sim because sometimes there's like people on the platforms even though I don't want them to be there, and then when I do want them to be there, there's nowhere to be found, which is really annoying. Abersaif. This is far more fitting for a Great Western branch line. Brakes on. I'm going to overshoot again, probably. Dump the brakes. Yeah. As always. Couldn't be in the right position. Just buffers right at the very end. But doesn't that look good as a screenshot? Talking of screenshots, I am going to set up a Dropbox folder or something, and I'm gonna create like a big folder filled with Angry Welshman Productions screenshots, so that if you guys want to have screenshots to use on your desktop and have your desktop background as a like over the hills screenshot, if you want, then that option will soon hopefully be open when I could be bothered. The last week or two has been exceptionally busy. Oh, the doors can open here. Yeah, the last 2 weeks. So last week I started my new job, which is a apprentice marine pilot. I'm based on the River Humber in the northeast of England, in the South Riding of Yorkshire. That's where I'm living now. So I've become a Yorkshireman. This Angry Welshman is now an Angry Yorkshireman. Oh my god. It's as though somebody predicted that that would ever happen. Off we go. I don't know what that is. Oh, it's a tree. Come on. Right, come on. Stop messing about. Power. Power to the Dukedog. Oh, no sign of wheel slip. This is a lot more sure-footed then than I thought. I think you got to kind of get it moving before really hitting the power. And we're off again. Proceeding up to 40 miles per hour. So it's 10 to 5. I will be playing PUBG. For those of you who are interested in PUBG, it's PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. Me and a few friends from college and Matt, cool Matty, Medmo as you should also know him, have set up a squad called Dead Poachers Society. Oh, Sam is now playing Train Sim. Talk of the devil, Sam of Blastbright Productions is playing Train Sim. He's probably going to watch this video and be like, oh my god, I got mentioned. And I'm going to be like, yes you did, you got mentioned. And he'll be like, oh my god, well. Yeah, so, what was I going to say? Started a new job. The next couple of weeks will be strange, but when I get into it, when I start getting shifts properly, the plan is to start filming over the hills and also rewriting the scripts. Get all the voice actors sorted, so I'll be holding auditions for different actors. If you guys do audition and I say no, don't, you know, get all offended and sad. It just means I don't think you're right for that particular role, which will probably happen for the most part. Remember, I can only have one voice actor for each role. The plan, I don't want to have, like, too many people doing multiple roles, because what's happened in the past is you have one voice actor doing about 12 different roles. I'm going way too fast. And ideally, I don't want that to happen, because it just, for me, it's a little bit unprofessional now. I don't want to see that happen anymore. Oh, this is beautiful. This is so beautiful. Dukedog. Come on, Dukedog. Blowing off again. Screenshotting away. While we slow down. So yeah, the idea is to have one person per character. Except, you know, there might be one or two places where that's not possible. I'm also thinking of removing myself from the role of Di, and also the role what is currently Mr. Davies. Although I'm still... Oh, actually, I might have got that the wrong way round. No, I think I got it right. I'm thinking about swapping my own roles around, because I think I'd rather me just be the narrator and have voice actors doing the rest of it. Because it sounds really strange when you have, for example, Di and Mr. Davies talking, and you end up crossing over, and it just sounds like I'm talking to myself, because my voice is so annoying and monotone. It's a really deep Welsh voice, which sounds like this. So, what I might do is change Di to be somebody else, preferably somebody with a Somerset accent, because as you know, Somerset and Dorset, 7F's based on the Somerset and Dorset, so they should have a Dorset accent. Which is fair enough, really. Oh crap, I'm going to miss the station. Drop both anchors. I'll be very impressed if we actually stop in time for this station. Although it kind of looks promising. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Dump, 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 dump. Too far. Damn it, I've ruined that. That was my own mistake. Well, at least the brake van got in the platform. I shouldn't have released the brake, I should have just kept it on. Oh well. All those people, they not getting on. The brake, you know, the brake van made it. shovel pump. Brakes off, driver. Right, where was I? So yeah, if you do want to audition for voice acting parts, please feel free. I'll post numerous characters when they're all finalised in that group. So to summarise, get yourself on Facebook, join the Over the Hills voice acting group, and I will soon post auditions and I will soon post lines for people to record, and then you know where you stand. It's coming in the next couple of weeks. Talking of voice actors, something I want to touch on is that myself and James Littlewood of Problem Productions, he's already done his own video log which explains this in quite a lot of detail, but I'm going to go into more specifics, I think. Or I might just not bother doing that, I might just talk a load of shit, which I normally do. So don't be surprised if that's what I do. A while ago, many years ago, I started writing a little show called Cal on Land, which is the story of a pannier tank who is taken away from his familiar setting of the main line and is sold to the National Coal Board. It's based on the story of what happened to 7754, the Great Western pannier tank, which was withdrawn from BR service and sent off to work at it was Abersucken Colliery, which is only a few miles from where I live, at home in Wales. And eventually he ended up at Mountain Ash, where it was then mothballed and sort of laid up for a little while. And I believe then it came back to service because preservationists sort of wanted it to see its steam, where it was basically like people wanted photo charters. That was quite common, that people would do photo charters at collieries because that was the only place in Britain where steam sort of, well, apart from the little preserved lines as they were at the time, it was the only way to see steam in action still, apart from like going abroad. And we're kind of hoping that you guys could hear that, because if you couldn't, then I've just wasted all that time talking. We're almost at the summit of the line, actually. So we'll just coast a little bit now. Shut the dampers because we've got a massive fire we don't need. We haven't used anywhere near as much water or steam as I thought we were going to. So yeah, 7754, the pannier tank, sold off National Coal Board, and then running at the National Coal Board, various collieries for photo charters, and then sidelines, not scrapped, but sort of laid up, then sold on to the National Trust or National Galleries and Museums of Wales, who then based it at the Llangollen Railway, and then they restored it to steam. It ran, then it was withdrawn, and is now being overhauled again, and it was also featured in Bill and Ted as one of my characters. I do have a particular affection for this engine. There was numerous. My father actually briefly worked at Abersucken Colliery years ago, and I think there was a picture of him. He was an apprentice diesel fitter working on generators and stuff, so he visited that colliery quite regular in the 70s and early or mid 60s. So he would have seen it in action, and I think I've got a picture somewhere of him posing with it. But yeah, so like a local connection. But also, that's what the sort of main character is. This whole story of a mainline loco, which would have been quite a prestigious one because it was based at Paddington, hauling empty coaching stock in and out of Paddington at one point. So, through the Great Western period and the British Railways period. So I kind of thought about what would that have been like for an engine. And that's what the story is this mainline engine going to work for the National Coal Board. Unfortunately, with the way things panned out, that project was sidelined, and I even just lost the motivation to continue writing it because it was becoming quite complicated. The story was a good one, but a very complicated one, and I was struggling to sort of continue it to a standard which I liked. A bit like James with Changing Times, it was very difficult when you've got such a good idea going. It's very difficult to continue it to that standard. especially when you don't feel that you're doing a good job. But with Over the Hills and, you know, races and various other projects I was doing, as well as working at sea for months and months and months, I just didn't really have the time or energy to continue it. So then I was approached a couple of months ago about with James, because he was also involved in writing it, because I wanted a bit more involvement from somebody else, and he got involved. And we did have some good ideas, but it never really got anywhere. So now James has decided that he doesn't want to let the project die, and he's going to continue it. And I'm very happy that he's done so, because otherwise this project just wouldn't really go anywhere. You know, I lost the motivation to do it. So I'm really happy that James is going to do it. It's going to be uploaded on his channel. I'm going to upload a trailer when he makes it. He's been working quite hard on getting the scripts written. So, you know, he's also voice actor. He's auditioning for voice actors to take part. So it's becoming his baby now. It's still very much, you know, like, it's written by both of us, but I think it's going to be James's baby, because he's really enthusiastic about it, and that's something which you know a project's going to do well when you see all that enthusiasm, which is something I kind of lost for it, which is why I shouldn't really continue it in a way, which is a shame to say. I would have liked to have done it, but I mean, I can't really commit that time to it. So yeah, that's what we'll look forward to seeing in the next couple of months. Is this Penwyth? Yes, it is. And we are routed in the correct way. So keep tuned for that. When James gets a trailer made, I'll upload it to this channel, and then feel free to subscribe to Problem Productions and see it in action. What else was I going to talk about? So yeah, new job Over the Hills. This new job, I moved up to Hull for this new job. I'm here for a year in the northeast. When I get on the river doing shifts, we are required to do 3 shifts a week. So that's basically like 3 days work. I will probably do more, but what it does mean is that I'm going to have significantly more time available to do filming of Over the Hills. So my plan for Over the Hills, first and foremost, is to get the scripts rewritten. That's the most important thing. Get the scripts written and the characters changed so I could start auditioning for new people to do the voice acting. Not all voice actors are going to change. There's some who are going to remain the same. There's some that don't need to change. I don't think I'm going to change Leslie, the voice actor. He doesn't need to change. Matt Shearer did quite a good job, actually, of the voice acting for Leslie. Ian needs to change, unfortunately, as does most of the voice actors for the human characters. So if you are interested in auditioning, get on over. And I've just nearly come to a complete stop. Too much talking. I should have taken those caffeine tablets. In the last video, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I was a little bit hyper. It's because I took about 20 fucking tablets, which was a stupid idea. I don't recommend that you take caffeine tablets and then make a video, because it's a really stupid thing to do. Yeah. Chuff, chuff, chuff. Let's shut the reg, because I know I'm going to overshoot again. Right. Have a bet, guys. In the next 10 seconds, am I going to overshoot the platform? And I would imagine that the answer's probably going to be yes. So, 3, 2, 1, brakes. Dump, 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 dump. Completely dump the brakes. Ah! Finally! I've stopped this thing in the right place. Do I need more water? Yes, let's put more water in, because I've got... No, 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 that's not water. Stupid. And while we're here, I'm going to take some screenies. So it's 5:05. I need to cook some dinner, or I'm going to go hungry tonight. So basically after this video I'm going to be playing PUBG with the lads. I was talking about PUBG and then I just completely shut down. Stupid again. So me and a couple of lads from college when I was at maritime school, they play PUBG and it's we've set up our own squad. We were called the Retard Squad. That's because I just couldn't think of another name and I had to get the videos uploaded. But it's not going to be Retard Squad, it's going to be Dead Poachers Society. And we'll upload videos and I'll post a link to Robbie's Twitch account, because he's going to set... Yeah, I think he's already done it actually. He set up Twitch, so which he claims is better than YouTube. It probably is better than YouTube actually, but I'm happy to continue using YouTube because I'm already set up and established here. But we'll see. Roo, I hear a dog. That is the dog in the house that I'm living in. So I'm in rented accommodation. Alright, it's time to go. So yeah, this is the Dukedog. Really good model. Oh, that's full reg. No wheel slip whatsoever. Oh, we're chucking the fire out of the chimney, but who cares? Notch up a little bit. Oh, this is a scene that I've never seen. No, pressing the wrong buttons all the time. There we go. There, I'm letting the fire mass die down a bit, so I haven't shoveled for quite a while. Although I do remember this is quite a steep climb, so I'm gonna... Every time I change the cab view, I end up in the bushes. Which is what she said. Hey, hey, hey. Sorry. Nathan will get that. So we're heading out of Penwyth, up the steep slope towards Penwyth Colliery. Points are set correctly for the first time ever. So you may remember from the last episode where they came to Penwyth Colliery to get some coal. Here's the big ass pile of coal that he was talking about. I was thinking that this would be the coal, but it's actually the pumps. You know, there's this huge ass pile of coal which is product, and then there's the wheelhouse. You know, yeah, whatever. The generators are kept in this shed, so there's a big ass pile of coal there. I just made stuff up, you know, to suit my story, as always. Dukedogging our way to glory. We are struggling for steam now. The steam level is actually going down, so I better do some shoveling. We may have found a cut-off point for our what we need to do. Although it doesn't really help that I'm just like using steam like crazy. Why is the moon there? We don't need the moon. Now we're increasing speed. Excellent. I'll shovel it up to about £750 fire mass and then we'll see how she fares. Because we're increasing speed and the boiler pressure is holding relatively steady now. So we're over the top of that little hill, I think. What else is there to talk about with you guys? Oh yeah, that's what I was going to talk to you guys about. So you probably may ask as well as why am I not doing live streams anymore? For this year, live streams may not be possible because I'm living in Hull and sort of using the Wi-Fi of the house where I am, so I don't think the internet is quite strong enough to do live streams. It is good, the internet is very good, but you know, there sometimes will be interruptions, and for live stream quality I don't know whether it'll be good enough. I might try it and just see how it goes, but we'll see. Alright, we're up to speed. I can ease off the reg. I've stopped shoveling and we are pumping water in. We're looking good. Cooking on gas. I don't know whether anyone has actually tried a gas-fired steam loco, as in a full-size one. I know people have done oil firing, and people have done gas-fired, you know, like 5-inch or 7 1/4-inch gauge locos. Maybe even like 10 1/4. On like a miniature railway, I guess gas firing would actually be a really sensible option, because it's cheap, it's clean, it keeps the loco in good, you know, condition, because there's not ash and stuff rusting the inside of the boiler all the time. Oh, are we approaching a station? Ah, it's a request stop. Penwyth or Blindcoid. Oh yeah, this just reminds me of the last video where I was going poop poop. I wonder how many people I annoyed with that. See, look, nobody on the platform. At Dukedog, for some reason, people just keep spawning on the platform, and I haven't figured out how to stop that happening. I've done it here, because there was this little knack that you do where you change it in the world editor, but for some reason it's just not working here. Oh well. Right, let's play Signalman. Doodly-doo. Doodly-doo. No. Yeah, that's what we want. And I don't know if that's correct or not. I assume that it is. Do you know, I've got no idea with these things. Oh, we're pumping water in and we're making steam, so we're doing quite well. The trick to running trains in Train Sim is not to blow off all the time and not to run out of steam at the same time. If you can handle that, then you... Oh my god, I just farted. Oh my god. Don't be alarmed. Oh, that smells really bad. I might just have a bowl of rice for me dinner, because I'm not going to have much time between finishing this video and starting PUBG. Let me just check what time we're playing. It might be later, it might be 6:30. If it's 6:30, then I've got time. Right, now we're going in the tunnel. Yeah, I think we're going to have time. As long as Rob messages me back. Beautiful carriage. What the hell? Basically, you come out the tunnel, you just have to dump the brakes because we're going way too fast. Aha. Release the brake. Although, maybe not. Release. Oh, dump. Dump, 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 dump. No, we're good. blast on the whistle because we'll be coming through the level crossing. She be coming round the mountain when she comes. Dump the brakes. Might be early, but it's better to do it early than late with this loco. That's what I'm kind of learning now. See, look, that was completely late, and it was still too late. Although maybe I just messed it up. Which is most likely as well. Ow! Why am I so rubbish at this? It's okay, Reese. New loco. And it doesn't like you. Let's get some screenies while we're here. Yep. I've noticed every single video that we do, I either overshoot the platform or there's nobody getting out the train. So, yeah. We'll just get this to Blind Barris and then I'll go cook some dinner. Joby Joe. I think I've basically talked about everything that I intended to today. Yeah, I've kind of run out of things to talk about. Why have we got a red? We shouldn't have a red. Mr. Bob the Sig. Ah, yeah. Those of you probably saw either the live stream or the video that I did before. I did some scenery updates. Here's the token exchange thingy for the main line. Power. Totally realistic. Put a little bit of water in the boiler. Request to pass the signal of danger is approved. That's how I like to see. Oh, I suppose I ought to actually message Matt, just to let him know. Matty, where's Matty? Why are we slowing down? Come on, speed. Power. Tunnelception is happening. Right. It's a hell of a climb now up here. Although she's not having any trouble whatsoever. Let's just set the road. I'm in the wrong road. Nope. Yeah. Yeah. No. And that's the correct road, people. Yep. Oh yeah. There we go. Although I may be going ever so quick. On a very cold winter's morning, Dukedogging our way into Blind Barris. Yeah, there's a bit of a bad bit of track there. We'll see it now. We dunk. We very slowing down. Slow down, 15 miles an hour speed limit drive. The final approach to Blineberris. At 15 miles an hour, we actually did it correctly. So we made it. There's another one to add to the list of locos that we didn't crash on the way. I seem to have got a lot better lately. The last few videos I've done, I've actually made it to Blineberris instead of just crashing. So I do feel that this should be like a, you know, train simulator achievement. Make it to Blineberris without exploding, or dropping the fusible plugs, or just dying in general. I've definitely got a title for this. Dukedogging. Dukedogging our way to glory. Although in the snow, doesn't that look so nice? In the sort of afternoon sunset in the snow. Arriving at the big station. Dump the brakes. Have I messed it up? No. Maybe not. Yes! I didn't mess it up. I didn't mess it up. Oh yeah. And literally nobody is travelling on our railway because once again, I press T and nothing happens. Except by there for some reason. Maybe this will be our screenshot of the day. I don't know whether 9015 is a particular engine. I think it's 9017 at the Bluebell Railway. I don't know what loco Stephanie will be, but we'll see. Should we do a run round? Or do I have time? I don't think I really have time. Oh my god. What happens if I do this? A junk. Well, I don't really know what happened there. Did I derail? Yeah, I derailed. Oh well. It does actually look quite strange to see a Dukedog in this way. Slightly leaning over. But hey, it's an AWP video. This is how they end. We all knew this was coming. We all knew that this would happen one time or another. Let's take some screenies. And that is it, ladies and gents. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. Rate, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Goodbye, everybody.